Hello students, welcome to BTech 360. Today I'm going to cover something very important which a lot of students have been asking me wherever I go for counseling sessions. I've been to Ahmedabad, I've been to Chandigarh, I've been to Delhi, I've been to Jaipur and on and on. And every single place is few questions come in which I think must be responded to. Now I do respond to them in confidence at that point in time, but the number of questions have only been increasing as far as these companies are concerned. So I thought it is very important for the student community and for everyone who's seeking them out to exactly understand where they stand as far as these kind of programs are concerned. What I'm about to talk about is Scaler School of Technology, and I'll be reviewing a lot more of such institutions as I move along, because somewhere these institutions have been conflated with actual degree granting status, universities, and to that extent it's become a choice for the student, which essentially says that I would not join this particular university, I'll join this particular institution. Now, some of them are very good institutions which actually deliver very well, but very important for the student community to understand what is the difference between the two, what are the risks that are attached, and what kind of outcomes can you expect if you were to join these kind of institutions, which also includes Scaler School of Technology. As I told you, I'll keep covering a few of them because they've become a big demand point, or a lot of students are seeking them out. And for us, it's very important for the student to exactly understand where they stand in this prospect. Before I move further and start talking about this institution, my only request is please do subscribe to BTech 360. We are doing a lot of work to ensure that you take the right decision, and we need your support. And to that extent, please do subscribe to BTech 360. Now about Scaler School of Technology. What is Scaler School of Technology? When we looked at this whole thing, there are three models that are there as far as, and not just about Scaler, but about companies that are creating good learning, skilling institutions which are delivering good outcomes, but are operating in a certain area only, right? There are three kinds of companies that we're dealing with. One is the standalone certification model, which is what Scaler does, where the EdTech company designs and delivers the entire program. They're not dependent on anyone, right? And there is no university affiliation, which is what they claim. Credential issued is a proprietary certificate. So, for example, Scaler, you get a certificate, right? And the value is entirely dependent on how the employer's perception and brand recognition is. So, if you go with a Scaler skilling, learning kind of a certificate, how do the employers value it? How much do the employers value it? And would you get a good job based on the learning and skilling that you achieved at this particular institution? That's the first model, which is a standalone certification model, where they deliver a lot of learning, skilling, and make you employable. By the way, Scaler started as a Scaler School of Academy, where they were teaching some skilling programs to a lot of students, in thousands of students. They've been there for the last decade. So they've been doing a lot of work in terms of training, skilling, reskilling, because there's new technologies that are coming in, and Scaler is a technology company. So they actually train students and even existing employees to reskill themselves on new technologies, new things that are coming out in the market. The second model is the embedded university model, where the institution goes and operates from the university ecosystem. So they would go to a particular university and establish a campus within the university and start training that program. In which case, you're paying the university, you're a part of the university campus ecosystem, you're learning from the university, you're getting a degree from the university, but the skilling, training, learning, and possibly employability also is coming from the company outside, which has embedded itself into the university ecosystem. Right? Here there is a lesser risk because the university is answerable to you in a certain sense. And the third model is a physical campus plus distance degree model, where the university, the institution, this EdTech company is actually setting up multiple campuses to train you, skill you, and make you employable. But because they want to de-risk you, they give a degree from a far away, distance learning degree model, where a university which is outside these premises, outside the state also, is giving you a degree. There is a credibility gap here, because universities are not supposed to be franchising out education, one. Two, the universities are not supposed to be, setting up an off-campus center beyond where they're stationed. For example, if you're stationed in Delhi, you can only give degrees to students around Delhi. But in this model, the EdTech company is setting up campuses in multiple locations across the country, and the degree, the state private university in Delhi is giving you degree in Hyderabad also, and in Andhra also, and so on and so forth. That is borders on not too credible thing. There is a legal fracas that you're likely to get yourself into, because this university is not supposed to be giving a degree to the person outside if it's a physical off campus. So that's the third model. But There are three models that we're talking about: the standalone certification model, which is what Scalar does, by the way; the embedded university model, which we'll also talk about when we discuss those institutions or those companies which are offering, following this particular model; and then the physical campus plus distance degree model, which also is followed by a few universities, but they do have a credential gap because the experience looks essential, but the degree doesn't carry the legal weight of a campus mode program. Because you're getting a degree, which is online degree, and most importantly, you are actually operating from a campus which is not supposed to be an off campus of that particular degree granting institution. These are three models, right? Now let's talk of what are the three big questions that students must ask whenever they pick up any of these institutions. But because there were 30 plus such companies have come in over the last many years, last couple of years especially, about 30-35 such companies are offering degrees where they're talking of, it can be not just Scalar, as I said, because Newton is there, and just NextWave is there, Zenith AI is there, and Upgrad is there, Physics Wala is there. So everyone is now getting into this space because Vedam is there. So many companies are coming into this space because they do think that they can actually add value to the student learning outcome and make them employable, and they see it as an opportunity. But having said that, there are gray areas that they operate in, which is what we'll discuss as we discuss each of the institutions as we move along. At this point in time, I'll confine myself to Scalar. But the three questions that students must ask, what are the three questions students must ask before they get in? And this will at least tell you what is the kind of risk that you're taking when you're joining these institutions. Who are you paying? If you're paying the EdTech company and not the university, then EdTech company is answerable to you because you're paying them. There is nothing else. There is no contract between the university and you. For example, if you're getting into the third model that I discussed, where you are actually studying in a campus which is not owned by the university. You are learning from a campus which is not owned by the university. You don't have the campus facilities which are meant for the university, and you're not operating within the university ecosystem, but the company's ecosystem. And you're paying them. Then why is the university answerable to you? There's a great possibility that tomorrow morning UGC, clamps down on all these things. And by the way, I noticed that in 2021, 20 through 23 and all, well, a few EdTech companies are offering MBA programs of universities. And the UGC came down, clamped down on them and simply said, listen, the universities cannot offer a degree through these EdTech companies. And because of that, universities backed out. Students who are with this EdTech company got stuck because they were not getting a degree, which was promised to them by the university, because there was never a contract between the university and the student. It was the EdTech company that was having a contract with the student, and the university was not answerable to the student because the payment also was made to this EdTech company. So that is a problem that you will have. So the question is, who are you paying is very, very important, extremely important. If you're paying the university, you're in safe hands because at least you can demand answers from the university. If you're not paying the university, there are question marks. Right. But again, as I said, in the standalone model, anyway, they're saying that they're not offering a degree. So there is nothing that matters. In the case of Scalar, that is where possibly it is. But with a few question marks, which I'll talk as I move along. And where are you studying? Are you studying in the university campus or in a campus floated by the company? If you're studying in a campus floated by the company, the university ecosystem, the university experience is not there with you. And to that extent, the possibility of a university being answerable to you, responsible to you, and accountable to you is lesser and minimal. And then the last one is who's answerable to you. If there is a default, if you're not getting a degree, if you're not getting a placement, if there is a commitment that was made to you that you're not, getting from the thing, who's answerable to you? Is it the university or the EdTech company? That's something that you must look out for, right? There are three big questions that you must ask anyone when you're picking up an option of this nature. Okay? Who are you paying? Where are you studying? And who's answerable to you? Who's responsible to you? By the way, this may not apply to Scalar. Let me be very clear. This may not apply to Scalar, but still there are few gray areas which I will also mention as I move along. Now, so when you look at the programs that Scalar School of Technology offers, let me now get into Scalar at this point, right? Scalar, they actually have two programs. One is the Computer Science and AI program, which is a 4-year program. 4-year UG program so they're very clear. Undergrad program in Computer Science and AI. The fee is about 17 lakh rupees. The hostel and mess fees is about 5.49 lakh rupees, and totally it's about 23 lakh rupees. Quite expensive in the Indian context, right? But a lot of students, if you look at some of the private institutions, they do charge so much and much more also. So Scalar operates in that zone of a student who is willing to pay about 25-30 lakh rupees for a 4-year degree program with all the expenditure included, and is coming for a learning skilling so that they can become employable. That's the first program that they offer. The second program that they offer is the AI and business one, which is 24.49 lakh rupees. Here the fee is not 17 lakh but 18.5 lakh rupees, right? And you also have an admission fee, and then the hostel and mess is obviously the same 5.49. So in all, what you're talking of is about 25 lakh rupees here, plus add everything else, you will ultimately spend about over 4 years about 30 lakh rupees to finish this particular thing, which is on AI and business, right? So these are two programs that they offered. What is the kind of cohort and all is something that I'll discuss as I move along, because typically in formal education, you know that how many seats are there and how many students got placed and all those kind of details are there. But here, it's slightly flexi is what I know, because they don't need to seek anyone's permission to start a seat, right? Which is where the gray area comes in, because you definitely don't know whether the cohort is small that is manageable and can be placed, or the cohort is large and cannot be managed, and because of it they cannot be placed. Now, I'll come to that again as I move along. But the founders of Scalar are very, very good. You know, I've known them for some time, Anshuman Singh and Abhimanyu Saxena. They both are from IIIT Hyderabad, right? One worked in Facebook, Meta, and also in Messenger, and the other one worked on Fab.com, and he is an engineer and entrepreneur. These two are the founders, and they both studied in IIIT Hyderabad. You should know that IIIT Hyderabad is far better than many of the IITs in this country, or most of the IITs in the country. Its placement is, it's a very, very small cohort that they take. And that small cohort does wonders into the ecosystem. And these two studied at IIIT Hyderabad. Now, the problem, I earlier talked about the placement narrative, right? So let me also, demystify the placement narrative, because here comes the problem. Scalar doesn't make any claims, but in their guidebook, they do leave some hints, which a lot of influencers, and largely they are YouTube influencers, they start using that in a mugshot to sell Scalar. Which is where the problem starts, because Scalar itself is not doing it, but people, the YouTube influencers, there is a lot of misinformation out there. There is a lot of misleading, conversations that happen there. Their nuances are not, discussed. The issues are not discussed. And thumbnails, which are essentially meant to be clickbait, are also being seeded into the student mindset that this is a possibility. For example, if you look at this particular thing, and we talk on the placement narrative here, 1.7 crore. Highest package 1.7 crore. Should you join? Scalar, highest package 1.7 crore. Scalar, detailed review 1.7 crore. That I've just put in three influences that we're talking of, right? And they discuss. So what has happened here is you've been seeded into your head. There's a possibility that if you join this Scalar School of Technology, because remember, they're discussing Scalar School of Technology. In all these things, they're discussing, even this one is Scalar School of Technology. Even this is also Scalar School of Technology. But the problem is this 1.7 crore is not a placement that's happened at Scalar School of Technology. The Scalar School of Technology hasn't placed a single batch of its own as of yet. The 4-year program that is being sold to you hasn't placed a single student, because the batch started in 2023, it's going to graduate in 2027. In which case, where is the question of placement? This particular 1.7 crore, because Scalar also has multiple other. These for working professionals, they have a program for working professionals where people like you and me also can go to upskill ourselves. And because of upskilling, my salary would have grown within my own company and all, because I might be a 15-year work ex kind of a person who's a software engineer. And me getting 1.5 crore, 1.7 crore from a whatever I'm currently getting is not relevant at all. And that is not something that you should be talking about at all. But somewhere Scalar seeded that in, and these people are picking it up, and students are now. So some of the things that happened to me when I went to some of these counseling sessions is, sir, I get this degree and I also get the highest salary is 1.7 crore, sir. Which is what shook me, because that is a blatant lie. Scalar School of Technology hasn't placed any batch yet. All the new universities that you see struggle to even place the batch. But here there's a claim happening because Scalar School of Technology, which is Scalar Academy, which is teaching working professionals, is placing some of its students, or maybe the students who are studying with them actually are having those kind of money that they're anyway earning at any point in time. So when we wrote to Scalar on this particular issue, Scalar responded back. It says, as this is the first batch, final placements will commence in the 4th year, which is starting July 2026, with the first graduating cohort in 2027. This is the response that Scalar gave us. This is a response that Scalar gave us, that Scalar School of Technology hasn't placed a single batch yet. If they have not placed a single batch, where did this particular highest package come from? Where did this entire conversation that come from? Why did they allow this whole thing to happen? When I looked at it much closer, this is what we found. This is, by the way, a guidebook for 2024 for Scalar School of Technology. The Scalar released, where they discuss their other achievements also in academy and everything else. And remember, see this Scalar School of Technology, 4-year UG program in computer science, and guidebook 2024. Here they discuss 1.7 crore package. But remember, this is a different academy altogether, where working professionals, existing working people go to acquire a new skill. It can be a new technology that's come in, a new program that's come in, a new course that's come in. They will do that because people are into reskilling. And that cannot be conflated with the 4-year program, where not a single student as yet has been placed. The job offers are not in place. They'll start in July 26 and end in 27. And I'm sure they'll work hard to place all these people. But the 1.7 crore is a myth. And when these people mentioned it in their guidebook, and those influencers misled the students. They put a question mark next to it. But what is seeded into the student mind is that Scalar School of Technology, 1.7 crore package, and it starts a conversation from that perspective, which is the problem that I have, because I thought initially that the influencer was misleading, but when I saw the guidebook, I realized that this has to be discussed and debated and told to you of where I stand in this matter as far as the 1.7 crore claim is concerned. Of course, by the way, if you look at it very closely, this 1.7 crore, even in their own thing, they say, verified by KPMG, the data is explicitly from Scalar's working professional program. You look at this, it is explicitly from Scalar's working professional program course. If this is from working professional course, why did it find space in Scalar School of Technology? Because it's a very clear, they wanted to say that they've done this kind of a credible work earlier. It might reflect here, but they did it correctly. But the moment it went to the influencer, where for Scalar School of Technology, they're conflating this number with that, is when the problem started. Because when students come to me and say, sir, they also have 1 crore package and all, I get taken aback, because I know for a fact that not a single batch has passed out. That is the problem that we're dealing with. The next thing that we discussed is, another thing that happens when students come to us, they say, so they're offering a program from IIT Madras. And when I heard some of these influencers, they also say, without getting into detail, that they also, I heard some of the influencers, by the way, who said they offer, BS degree from IIT Madras and also place. And by the way, they don't dwell in depth of what this means. I will do that for you now so that you understand exactly what it is. Now, do they offer an IIT Madras or BITS Pilani degree is a question that we also asked ourselves. In the Scalar thing itself, in the 4-year UGP and CS, it says UGC recognized degree from IIT Madras, BITS Pilani. Plus tech skills via 15 real world program. Because they mentioned it, remember they mentioned IIT Madras and BITS Pilani, and UGC recognized degree from. The simple thing is, Scalar is not empowered to offer you a degree from them. So the mention itself is questionable. And the reason why I say this is, when we asked Scalar exactly the same question, they said, we encourage all SSC students to pursue parallel independent UGC recognized degrees. So what they do, when we wrote to them about this particular thing, they said, listen, we encourage students to register for one of these two programs. That way you can encourage them to register for an MIT program and a Harvard program also if it's offered online. Right? But the moment you do this, those people, the influencers, while they're very clear, by the way, at every single point, Scalar is very, very clear that, listen, we don't offer these degrees, we only encourage on those kind of things. It's all in fine print in different places. Right? But the influencers take off from here and actually say as if the degree is being offered and it is just a matter of time and convenience that it will happen. It is already almost a surety is what they talk. So I spoke to IIT Madras some other time, not because of Scalar, but because I do think that IIT Madras BS degree is a very, very credible degree if students complete that. But the challenge here is the completion rate. Let me talk to you about the completion rate, because see, Scalar cannot offer you a degree. Just be very clear about that. Scalar cannot offer you a degree of either IIT Madras or BITS Pilani. Both the programs have very, very intense programs. You need to clear them. And the pass rates are dismal. These people, for example, in Scalar, what do they say? And 100% of students have enrolled in programs such as the BS in Data Science and Applications by IIT Madras, or the BSc in Computer Science by BITS Pilani. So first of all, it's not a BTech degree, it's a BSc degree. Just be very clear about that, right? And the 100% of the students have enrolled. Enrolled and passed are two different things. I wish they could have told me that it's been 3 years now. How many students who enrolled in the 23 batch have actually got a BS degree at this point in time? That data is not there, but we do have data of the overall IIT Madras pass rates at a BS program level. I'll show you that also. Now this is the data that we got from IIT Madras, which you're tabulating only for you, and so that you understand how difficult it is. The first batch in 2021 was 54,565 applicants. As of now, only 192 students passed out or graduated with a BS degree. And we're talking 5 years hence, mind you. The second batch was 31,824 students, right? And 249 students completed BS degree. If you look at BSc in all put together, about 1,000 students of the 85,000 actually have got it. And BSc is about BSc, mind you, and BS degree is about 430 from 85,000. So that's a 0.5% kind of a conversion rate. Please understand, the IIT Madras degree or the BSc Pilani degree, you need to finish that. You need to study hard. It is not, cannot be offered. You need to complete that. You need to pass the credits. You need to pass every single semester that they have. Appear for the examination, clear that. And the pass rates are very, very dismal. That's because the program is very difficult, very intense, and meant for only serious students. And no one can offer you a degree. At some point in time, what's likely to happen is that many of the students who came from Scalar would have enrolled here, registered here, would have may have completed foundation also. But as you move along, there'll be a dropout. So there's a possibility, theoretical possibility, that at least if it's a case of IIT Madras or BITS Pilani, you'll enroll there, but you will not complete a degree. And then more than fair chances that you'll not complete a degree because the program is intense. You can't do this and that and still make it work. It's very, very difficult. Because Scalar's curriculum is very good, extremely good, makes you skilled, makes you employable, everything. But to do this in parallel is where the problem comes in. So at some point in time, because they're discussing IIT Madras and BITS Pilani, the way they talk of how many students were placed and all, they'll hopefully come out with a placement report. I would encourage them to come out with a report on how many students actually graduated with a degree in their hand, if that is the selling point that they're using. Because they mentioned it in their guidebook, they mentioned here about this part of it, UGC recognized degree from IIT Madras, in their 4-year UGP and CS and A thing. I do hope that the way they talk of placement, they should also talk of how many students actually graduated and got a degree from IIT Madras or BITS Pilani. Because they're making that claim out here. So that is my opinion about this. So that is the problem, that when you look at this whole thing, there are about 2 lakh plus students who applied till now. About, I think all put together, about 70,000 students are registered, which means 1,30,000 students fell even before the foundation itself. Only very few, about 15, 20, 25,000 students have come to the foundation, which is after first year. So from 2 lakh, it came down to 25,000 after first year. And then BSc completed, diploma is in between, and then BSc completed and BS completed. The pass rates are very, very dismal, which is how it will be. Because a lot of people are told that, I heard cases of IIT Madras and degree where people say, I will sit at home and do IIT Madras degree. It is not possible. Unless you are very intent, and unless you are very convinced, unless you put in all your hard work, this degree is not a degree where it's like a walk in the park. Because IIT Madras is not a degree mill. BITS Pilani is not a degree mill. If a student graduates from there, they'll make sure that you're competent to be called a BITS Pilani alumni or an IIT Madras alumni. They're not letting you pass through just because you applied for them. No, that a lot of private universities do. There are a lot of degree mills in this country, but these two are not degree mills, and that you must be very aware. Now let's look at the internship report, because we talked of the degree, we talked of the placements, we talked of the legal status of Scalar. Let's talk of the internship report here. In the internship report, they gave the internship report, possibly this is for the first cohort only, which started in 2023, right? Where there were 180 students in the batch, of which 164 got internship, 14 opted out of internship, and 4 were ineligible based on academic policy. So there might be a policy which says that unless you get so much CGPA or so much attendance, you're not eligible for internship. Now Scalar will work hard to place you, because their entire business strategy works on you getting placed, because you're skilled and you're so skilled that companies want to come and hire the skill that you have. That's the entire business model that they have. So to that extent, as compared to a normal university, these guys will work much, much harder to ensure that you're placed. There is no two ways about that. Both the founders will make sure that they work so hard that you're skilled enough so that companies come and place you and take you, which is what they'll work on. Which is where, if you notice this whole thing, 164 were placed, and that is about 96.3%. Because of the 164 who were eligible for placement, 158 got placed. And 4 were disallowed for placement also. That also you must be very clear about. So that is the kind of number that we are talking about. But there is one more thing that I would want to mention, which is the internship amount and all. So there is also internship amount that is discussed, where they discuss 2 lakh being the highest internship thing. That might be in foreign currency because they use the foreign currency also to deal with that. In my opinion, when I looked at these numbers, the bottom 75% would get a internship of about 23,000 rupees. That's my reverse back of the book calculation. So while they're talking of 2 lakh and top 10% 90,000 and top 25% 56,424, the bottom 75% is 23,000 is what my back of the envelope calculation is, which means the bottom 50% would be about 15 to 20,000. That's my back of the envelope calculation, because what I have at this point in time is for 164 students, your average monthly stipend is about 31,362. The highest monthly stipend is 2 lakh and the top 25% is 56,424. If I make the top 25% as 56,424, the 11% to 25% is something about 33,000. And the 26% to 100% is 23,000. These 33,000, 11% to 26%, and this 23,000. And if the bottom 75% as a huge chunk is 23,000, then you're leading up to, you will get an internship. And by the way, getting an internship itself in the current times is very, very good, by the way. Not many institutions are capable of actually getting every student get some kind of an internship. These guys do that, they succeed really, really well in that. But you should be very clear that while the influencers will talk to you about 2 lakh and 96% placement, the thing that I also want to put it in your head is that about 75% of the students would have got it at about 20,000 rupees. That is something that I want you to be aware of. Now, I always told you that, when you have a smaller cohort of about 160 students, it's easy for you to deal with that thing. When it keeps scaling up, when it actually keeps adding more people, what happens? Because when we ask for the same thing, we're talking about 687 selected in the last batch of 25, right? So from 160, we're talking about 687 who were selected. I'm not now focusing on the success, selection rate and all, because while you are talking of NSCT test takers, not everyone would have actually preferred, and both ways it would work, right? The number of students who selected is 687. So from 164 that we were talking of earlier, or 182 students who were there in the first batch, in the 25 batch, we're talking of 687 students. So when you create more people, the median salary, everything starts working on. And by the way, Scaler very, very clearly says that we don't guarantee employment. They themselves say, but somewhere in the fine print you will see that, right? So while you're getting into Scaler, be very clear about something that they will make you train, they'll make you skilled, they'll make sure that you learn a lot. But employment is not guaranteed. Employment is not guaranteed. They will work hard on getting companies for placement also, but it's not a guarantee. And by the way, it's not a guarantee even in IIMs and IITs for that matter. So for you to put it in your head that it is almost guaranteed, no, it is not a guarantee. Because what we're dealing with is this particular thing. From 164, we're jumping with 687, which will graduate later. I don't even know what's the intake of 2026 batch, which is what the entire advice that I'm giving to you is for those students who are getting into Scaler in 2026 and graduating in 2030. But one good advantage that you'll have is Scaler will be always ahead of its times in terms of understanding what is the new skill, new learning, new technology that must be learned by the student, and they'll bring in very fast. That is very clear, because the two people who are the founders understand that ultimately their entire success will depend on how the students succeed in their own lives and careers. Right? So that is where I stand in this matter. Now, the 10 questions that I would want you to answer so that there is a lot of simplification about everything that I've said till now. Is Scaler a reputed company? Yes, of course, it's a very, very reputed company. The two founders are very reputed. It's been backed by some very, very good private equity funds, and the private equity funds really, really follow up on the student outcomes also. So Scaler is a very, very reputed company. So that point is taken, right? Is Scaler an institution that can call itself India's Ivy League for the ages? I think it's slightly ahead of time. It's a good marketing, slogan that they want to. It's a good aspiration to be. But at this point in time, there are far too many institutions. I'll at least count 100 institutions which actually are working on the cusp of, AI and technology, and Scaler is one of them possibly. Right? Would I get an IIT Madras BS degree online if I study? No, it is not guaranteed. You will enroll at IIT Madras, and that too out of your own free will. You will actually have to have an independent, relationship with IIT Madras. Scaler has nothing to do with your IIT Madras degree. Scaler cannot promise you an IIT Madras degree. Scalar might teach some of what is necessary for you to crack the IIT Madras thing in its class, but Scalar cannot promise. As much as a coaching institution cannot promise you an IIT degree or an admission into IIT, a Scalar cannot promise you a degree from IIT Madras. It depends on how you work hard. It's an intense program and the success rates are very, very dismal. You must know that. Would I get a BITS Pilani BSc degree online if I study at Scalar? Again, it's not guaranteed. You need to work hard, you need to study hard, you need to pass the examination. It's an independent relationship between you and BITS Pilani. And Scalar has nothing to do with it. Scalar is completely independent. Scalar has nothing to do with what degree program that you pursue to have some kind of a credential in your hand. What degrees does SSC actually award you? Scalar awards you a certificate that you learn the following programs and following things, and it's a certificate from Scalar School of Technology and nothing else. They do not award a degree. Scalar is not a degree granting institution at all. Did Scalar place more learners in Amazon than IITs, all the IITs combined? Again, this is for me a case of passing off because Scalar is a training and skilling academy. Remember, I talked to you about Scalar Academy? Scalar Academy trained lots of people, thousands of people over the last 10 years. And many of them would have found a job in Amazon, or they might be working in Amazon and also have taken a skilling course at Scalar because they want to upgrade themselves, update themselves on the new technologies coming. So it is not, and by the way, the quantity of what Scalar talks of is you cannot conflate with the kind of quality. Because in Amazon, there are different kinds of roles that you have. And to conflate that with IITs, because IITs, place students at a certain level. The Scalar Academy places students at a certain level. And the levels are very, very different. Very different. So for you to claim that, because you conflated with IITs, I have to mention this, that because you conflated IITs and Amazon with Scalar, I have to mention that IITs place students at a certain level. Scalar Academy placed or is training an already existing employees at Amazon at a different level. Both are, chalk and cheese. Right? How are the placements at Scalar School of Technology? As I said, not a single batch has graduated. So there is no question of placement. So any discussion on placement by anyone, me, them, or an influencer is a blatant lie. A report claims a 96% internship placement. How reliable is this? So this has been audited by BYK Analytics, if I'm not wrong. And what I saw of that, it's very comprehensive. The data is out there. So to that extent, the internship for the first cohort, which is about 164 students, is reasonably correct, if I understand, right? Is SST a college or a business? Does it matter? This is a very good question. See, for me, it doesn't matter whether you're a for-profit company or not-for-profit company. I'm looking at what have you promised to the student and are you delivering that? Are you misinforming or misleading a student to get you into this? So one is your claims, and are you misleading or not misleading, and whether you're succeeding in the student outcome that you promised the student. In that context, I'm not too bothered whether it's a business or a college. I'm happy if what you promise to the student is what you deliver. As I told you, there are a few gaps that I see in terms of the way they conflated a few things. But having said that, they still are very, very good in terms of their student outcomes, which is the internship report that we saw. Placements have not happened, but they talk of placement, I have a question mark on that. But having said that, is SST a college or a business? It is a business which is running a college, but not an approved college, right? And does it matter? For me, it doesn't matter as long as you're able to deliver the ultimate outcome. But more importantly, you must deliver everything that's been promised to the student. If you're not able to deliver an IIT Madras or a BITS Pilani degree, don't talk of that. If the 1.7 crore is not your salary, then don't talk about that. That's where I stand in the matter. But they do deliver very good student outcomes. Now the big question, who should join Scalar School of Technology? Because one of the things is, it's a very good marketing ploy to take on the IITs. Recently I heard one interview which says IITs are a scam by one of the edtech companies which started a new program, which is another school of technology. Right. Another ad I saw of how a company in Gujarat is actually guaranteeing a 6 lakh salary or a full fee refund. And on, right? So there are multiple claims that are happening in very, very aggressive marketing ploys. Scalar, to that extent, by its own, is not misleading anything. Though they're claiming a few things in the reports and all, which is being used by the influencers, but the influencers for me surely mislead. And possibly there's an incentive for them to mislead also. I'm not hiding anything out here. There's possibly an incentive for them to also mislead the whole thing. But the more important thing is who should join. As I told you, there are 3 schools of thoughts in this whole thing. One is a college which is actually a degree granting institution, which ensures that you're learned, you're skilled, and make you employable, and also get you a job, which means that you're actually getting a degree, you're getting a job, and you're learning and skilling. If you're getting into any of these institutions, you must take that up. 2 is, you actually are very good as a student, you actually had a bad day in one of the examinations, and because of it you did not get much, right? You are not bothered about whether you're getting a degree in your hand or not. You just want to learn, skill yourself, and be a part of a good cohort of students who actually want to learn and skill themselves. Scalar is possibly meant for them, right? But that is provided that you have not got into the first range that I discussed, which is a good, like you take a RV or a BITS Pilani and all. If you're getting into the Thapar, LNMIT, Dhirubhai Ambani, and I can quote about 50 such institutions beyond the IITs also, by the way. Beyond the IITs, NITs, IIITs, GFTIs, I can still quote about at least 25, 30, 40 of them. Like for example, you take Plaksha University. If you're getting into Plaksha University, I would rather, between Scalar and Plaksha, I'll pick up Plaksha. Because one, it's a degree granting institution. Two, it's founded by entrepreneurs who actually do a very, very good job of it. And they'll also place the students, and their average salary is 20 lakh rupees for the first cohort. Right? So I will always take that up. So the choice that you will make between Scalar and something else is dramatically different. And by the way, I did meet students who, in my opinion, were not getting anything, and they were being offered in Scalar, and they actually got offers from Scalar. So this thing of how the selection is very, very difficult and all, I do know people who couldn't get into many things and could get into Scalar. So that's a possibility also, right? But that might be a subjective opinion that I have. The simple thing is, if you're getting into a good institution where they really focus on making you skilled, making you learned, making you intelligent, making you smart, making you wise, and also get you a job, because it's been there for long years and companies do come to that institution for placement and they also offer you a degree, you will take that up. If you're not got into a good institution and you want to be skilled, learned and all, and you can take the risk of not having a degree, Scalar is also the place for you. And if you're joining a degree mill, which is about 85% of the universities and colleges that we have in the country, who survive only because they actually have the power to grant a degree, who lie through the teeth, right? And that's the option that you're living with, then I would much rather encourage you to actually join Scalar than these institutions, because when you come here, in my opinion, 4-5 years down the line, the value of a degree will come down dramatically, because some of these companies are challenging the existing norms, and to that extent, they'll also challenge the kind of student outcomes that these people deliver as compared to what they're working on. So to that extent, they will be doing much better job than these institutions, which are just degree granting institutions with no learning, no skilling, and no placement also possible. They might be having a 30-40% placement, which they'll talk of 80-90% placement, but that's a different thing altogether, right? So who is Scalar meant for? Scalar is meant for that student who's not getting admission into a good university or a college, which has some kind of a legacy, which has very good placement, which values merit, right? Which works on the student to make them employable, right? If you're not getting into those kind of universities or anything, Scalar is meant for you. But if you're getting into some of the more established institutions, some of the most legacy-prone institutions, which have fantastic alumni, which is working all over the globe, there are some institutions in this country where 30% of the alumni is outside of India, and they're private colleges. You take PES, or you take PSG, or you take Coimbatore Institute of Technology, you take SSN College in Chennai. These are very, very good legacy institutions. You take Thapar, you take Dhirubhai Ambani, of course you take IIIT Hyderabad, which is a public-private partnership. It's not a public institution, by the way, and so on and so forth. They deliver very, very good student outcomes. In which case, Scalar, I would rather pick that up as compared to Scalar. But if you're not getting into good institutions in this country, and you're essentially working on getting into some college to learn and skill and all, you might actually get a degree, but you'll not get a job, in which case Scalar is a preferred choice. I just hope what I told you, you understand in the right perspective, because I'm not too worried about whether it's for profit, not for profit. I remember institutions like NIIT rather. NIITs, in 30 years back, they never gave a degree, but students flocked at NIIT because they were getting such good learning outcome, such good skill, that the skill itself, the certificate from NIIT itself is good enough for you to get employment anywhere else. So you don't need to flaunt your degree from a college, but you flaunt your certificate and the skill that you acquired from NIIT, and that would get you a job. There are many institutions that challenge the existing norms and said, we won't give you a degree, but we'll make you employable. Like you look at ISB. ISB doesn't promise a degree. It doesn't even talk about where they're getting the degree from. They don't even talk of the degree. But students from ISB get placed. I know a lot of IT companies also which do this kind of thing, right? So the important thing that you must know is that there are certain kind of people that must prefer Scaler. There are certain kind of people that I would prefer that you get onto the institutions which are degree granting. The thing that you must know is Scaler cannot promise you a degree. Scaler's placements at this point in time, and they've not placed a single batch of students. So to that extent, the placements have not come. So anything that the influencers say is a blatant lie. And most importantly, having said all these things, Scaler is challenging the existing norms. To that extent, the promoters, the founders, the entire company will work hard to get you placed. And that is something, in terms of effort, they would not be found wanting. In terms of making you skilled, they would not be found wanting. In terms of getting companies on for placement, they would not be found wanting. But whether you get a placement or not is not a guarantee. Your degree is not guaranteed. And to that extent, you must be very clear about it. I just hope this helps you. Thank you so much. Namaste. And please do subscribe to BTech 360.